the predator is not always the winner, as there are times when the prey is the winner, and that is when the desire to survive triumphs over all the fears. And when they do, they stand up to fight their enemies. As today's video, let us learn the battles of the survival of the wildebeest. The battle for survival of the wildebeest. As the lion is a powerful animal with a mane that surrounds it, reminiscent of a large crown, as they are well muscled and are excellent predators and other key carnivores. Lions can weigh up to 200 kilograms, as their lifespan is around 20 years in captivity, but they only live about 10 years in the wild, as it is the result of having to fight many other opponents of the same kind, enough to see how strong and powerful this animal is. As for the above reasons, it is difficult to imagine a lion being defeated. And this time, who are the amazing animals that we're talking about? Who makes the lion fall? That is the wildebeest. As the wildebeest is a member of the antelope family, as they have a large box-shaped head and curved with horns, and the back end of their body is quite heavy, while the hind legs are slender with thinner legs in front, as they crave fur and a black mane. And these larger animals are constantly on the move as they seek a favorable supply of grass and water, as the famous wildebeest population in the Serengeti is a very large nomadic group, as this group makes up an 800 to 1,610 kilometer long migration cycle each year, starting immediately after the spawning season at the beginning of the year. Do you see those big moving black patches? It was a herd of wildebeest moving, as the antelopes gather in such a large herd that one could easily see them if they were in the air. And the wildebeest are making their annual migration, as they keep going like that, and maybe they will stop to drink some water or to graze, but then they keep going, as it is hard to break into a running herd of antelope, as they won't stop even if an animal accidentally gets caught in their mess. And that means if a cow slows down, or a young one doesn't keep up, or one is attacked, they will get lost because the other cows will still not care and continue to run. And those lost wildebeest are more likely to be targeted by their predators. So what could be easier than a target who is all alone? And so, those carnivores will approach the poor antelope. But these carnivores often forget that the wildebeest is also a prairie warrior. And maybe that was also the reason for the following war. And despite using both hands, the lion still could not control the wildebeest, as the antelope kept pushing the lion towards the bushes to get out. And that tactic was successful, and the wildebeest had fled immediately. As during the large-scale migration of these animals, of course, there will be times when they have to wade across the rivers or streams. And taking advantage of the opportunity to hide and to hunt the wildebeest meat, it is something worth trying. So perhaps the crocodile had thought so. And this is just one example of the many dangers they can encounter along the way. once you have the advantage of being right under the target's feet, it only takes a surprise bite to capture the prey. As the crocodile succeeded in the first step, and only he didn't think that stopping an antelope from running would require that much force. As perhaps watching his teammates keep moving forward also gives him a lot of motivation. And so the crocodile was dragged by the wildebeest until it was about to come ashore, as the wildebeest had took the momentum to get out of the crocodile's mouth. As predators that mainly feed on wildebeest include the lions, hyenas, wild dogs, leopards, and crocodiles, which seems to prefer the wildebeest to any other prey. However, the wildebeest are still very strong, and they can injure even the lions, as they have a speed of up to 80 km per hour. As the main defensive tactic is a herd formation, in which the young are protected by the larger ones, and usually the predators try to isolate a young or a sick animal, as the wildebeest have learned to deal with that, as such are taking turns sleeping while others keep watch at night, as this proves that they are also quite intelligent and intensely eager to live, and because only when they want to live do they want to find a way to keep themselves safe and their teammates from falling into the hands of the predators. As creating relationships seems super luscious, but sometimes necessary in the animal world, as the animals are generally unrelated to each other, except when they hunt, and most of the time they socialize with their flocks, as a symbiotic relationship is one of the rare examples of the two different species being related. But nature sometimes hides the interesting things. As this hippopotamus may be impressed with the gentle antelope, or it may be annoyed with the crocodile neighbors, or both. But maybe, anyway, it did a very kind deed, as it ran out to help the wildebeest to get out of the crocodile's mouth. As the wildebeest usually live quite quietly, but perhaps it also a plus when their personalities win the hearts of some other animals. As the African wild dog goes with its pack to attack the wildebeest, this animal is quite aggressive and shallow, as they do not seem to be afraid of any animal despite their small body. As fighting with this animal is quite annoying, as they will bite and bark non-stop. But even so, it was subjective to rush into a larger wildebeest with sharp horns, as a fight had broken out between the two animals. And this time, the weakness of the size of the wild dogs clearly showed the disadvantage, as a stray dog was seriously injured and was lying in the middle of the worried eyes of its comrades. And most of the time, the wildebeest is in a gentle and a somewhat quiet state that makes the other animals forget that it is also a warrior, as the athletes are generally in good health, but the wildebeest also train their bodies through their annual marathon. And thanks to that, without attacking, they can also cut off the enemy's tail with their running power. As what a special tactic to save the lives that we need to recognize. As today's video comes to an end, so thank you all so much for watching all our videos, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share this video. Goodbye, and see you